Of course, we know we live in the desert, and that means every drop of water counts. But do you know where your water goes once it heads down the drain? Dave the Garden Guy does. He's joining us now to explain how it's doing so much for the Arizona landscape. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Olivia. In fact, take a look. This is what you're using per day on average. We're at the Glendale Main Library, and this is about 120 gallons of water per day per person here in the valley. And I'll tell you what, you're going to be surprised at where this water actually goes. I'm with Ann, and Ann, you are basically a water conservation specialist here in the valley, and you want to tell us a little bit about, well, what this water does and where it actually goes and how we're going to save a little bit, right?
So on average, for the average single family residence here in the valley, we use up to 120 gallons per day. So that is a lot of water, and up to about 50% of that water is actually being used outdoors in the landscape. So that is a lot of water that generally it could be wasted.
And you can see right here, in fact, take a look right down here, 65 gallons on average goes towards
outdoor water use, whether that's landscaping, pools, even some leaks that we might have outside in our landscape.
Go ahead.
And then obviously the other half of the usage happens on the inside. So one of the things we really try to do is communicate how people can save a little bit of extra water outside, since it does make up a majority of that usage.
And so for communication, you've got a lot of publications here at the library. We're at the Glendale Main Library, and these publications are all available for free here, and it tells us a little bit how to fix leaks.
Yes, so these are really good regional publications. This one here can help a homeowner find leaks that are outside or inside, to even help them determine how to read the water meter.
Yeah, and this is very important, folks. This is something everybody should be able to do here in the valley. By reading your water meter, you are able to tell if your water is on in your home, and this is a very important component. It's got a lot of information right on this little dial, and you've got a publication here that tells you how to read that. And then over here we've got some xeriscaping ideas, right?
Yes, so we try to promote the idea of xeriscaping your yard, or creating an Arizona friendly yard.
And why don't you explain to the folks at home real quick, what does xeriscape mean?
So xeriscape, if we were to break that word up into two different words, xera means dry and scape means scene or land area. So basically a desert adapted landscape.
And you know, you can really create a beautiful landscape. This is an example right here, Chalopsis linearis. This is a desert willow. This is one that does very well out here in the desert without any water. Last but not least, the landscape watering guidelines. Tell us a little bit about this publication.
Right, so this is a really good guide. Whether you have grass, trees, or shrubs, it can show you seasonally how much water to apply to them.
And you wanted to mention a little bit about a contest.
Yes, so if you can't read a guide, but you have time to tour the Glendale Xeriscape demonstration garden, participate in this scavenger hunt and enter to win a WaterWise prize.
So there you go, folks. There's lots to know about water. Saving it is going to really save you not only a lot of money, but the environment all at the same time. So Olivia, if you need a few publications, I'll pick some up and I'll bring them back to you.
Please do.
So there's everything you need to know about water and more.
Thank you, Dave.
Trees are a crucial part of life. They provide oxygen for us to breathe, obviously, shade from the sun, and shelter for animals. So that's why it's so important to protect them. And it all starts by knowing how to properly care for them. So we are going to talk with Dave the Garden Guy about trees. Dave, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, good. It's good to see you, Scott. Hey, listen, we're talking trees today, one of the most important elements you can have in your landscape. We've got a lot of different types of trees out here. We're at the Glendale Main Library with Joanne, their environmental specialist. And one thing I want to tell you, talk to me about the money, because everybody wants to know about the money and how it connects to trees.
Absolutely. Everybody loves to save, and so trees provide so many environmental benefits. So this shoestring acacia behind us, you know, it cleans the air, it provides oxygen, it saves water because it's a desert tree, it mitigates stormwater pollution, and it provides shade, so it cools our houses.
And the money it saves is right here. You've got them actually all listed out here, tagged throughout the library area. This tree saves, what, $300?
$300, which is incredible. So we love to save.
Yeah, we love to save. So this is Shoestring Acacia. This is a tree that I especially like, and you've got another one over here that's called the Mulga, or the Anura, the Acacia Anura, and this is a tree that's also one that you're going to actually plant in here, right?
Absolutely. The mulga is a fabulous tree. It's a low water use tree. It has wonderful, beautiful foliage. It doesn't really shed a lot, so for people that don't like leaf litter, no issues there. And then it doesn't actually have thorns, so you don't have to worry about cutting yourself when you're pruning your tree.
And I can attest to that. I've got a couple at the ranch right now, grow without any water once established. And tell us the significance of this red line right there.
Right. So, the number one reason that trees fail in the landscape is they were planted too deep.
Absolutely. And this is very important, folks. Listen up.
So when you plant a tree, you actually want to look for the root flare. So if you, at the nursery, you want to look for where that leader root is, and that's actually where you want to plant the tree. In fact, you actually want to plant the tree a couple inches above this. So you're going to be putting gravel down,
Yep.
right?
And you want these roots actually exposed. This is what we call root flare. She said it earlier, or that bell-bottom type of look. And folks, if you don't see this, in fact, let's go over the Texas ebony right over here. This is another one of my favorite trees. You can see that root flare just beginning, but you can see where you want to see this. And if you don't see that on your trees, invariably, you're going to end up with all kinds of problems. So it's very important. Get out there for Arbor Day. Start thinking about planting these trees. Start watering them correctly. You got all the information here at Glendale Main Library, right?
Absolutely. At the Xeriscape Garden, we're showcasing hundreds of low water use plants and trees. And so if you want a tree for your yard, come out to the garden and see how big that tree is going to get and whether or not it'll fit in your landscape.
And I can attest, they've got a lot of different types of trees, got all kinds of information out here. And Scotty, Olivia, if you're thinking about doing a little bit of landscape work, well, this is the place to come because you can take a look at all these different types of trees. You can see them. Well, they're actually grown up. You can see what they do and how much shade they actually create. And again, how easy they are to maintain. Scotty, Olivia, back to you.
You know, when we think of landscape work, we all like to do one thing, and that's call you.
But he never answers.
No, he doesn't.
That's unfortunate, but
Yeah, I know.
Send a
but you can only
voicemail.
call. Don't
Send a
plan on me
voicemail.
coming out. I do not do house calls.
We know, Dave. Trust me, we know.
Dave, thank you so much.